for control of the first round of the game, name that school. Pistol, Diesel, or Booger?
LSU.
Maddie has control of the first round of this day in trivia. Welcome to the Hoop Southbound Show, and we're doing some college basketball trivia today, part of our summer series. So buckle up, and let's test your knowledge and these guys' knowledge on how well they know college hoops geography. And welcome to the Hoop Southbound Show. Yes, we're doing trivia today because we haven't gotten to that yet. But let's meet our contestants first. Of course, we have Maddie, who is in control of the game right now, who joins me on the show. I told her she could have the week off, but circumstances applied that she stepped in and became our number 2 contestant today. And we have Caleb from Hogs on the Hill. Caleb, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Just trying to stay cool in this fantastic Arkansas summer.
No, absolutely. Guys, before we get started, have any of you seen any of these questions or know how to play this game?
Absolutely not. You sent it to me in the middle of work, so I read maybe a sentence of it. It was like, I'll get to this later. So I'm kind of clueless.
I was about to say, same here.
Yeah, well, today we are playing a game called Globetrotter, where we're going to be testing your college basketball geography, which we're using the term geography very loosely here, trivia knowledge. And let's get this game started off with a game called Where Am I? All right, so Maddie, you have control of the board for answering the first random trivia question correct. You get no points for that, but you do have control. Each of these questions will be worth points. 1 point. We'll go back and forth. But Maddie, would you like the first question or would you like to defer it to Caleb?
Give me the first question. Let's go for it.
All right. The first question, where am I? We are looking for the city and state of where this school is. And for clarity purposes, we are looking for the university's location. So the city and state, you'll get a point for the city and a point for the state. All right, Maddie, your first school is the University of Miami. We're looking for the Hurricanes variety.
I feel like this is a trick question because I know it's not directly Miami.
What's your answer?
Is it Coral Gables?
Coral Gables? Yeah, Coral Gables, Florida is correct. All right, so Maddie's got the first question right. We're going to stay in the ACC here. Caleb, for your question, where's Duke?
So that's going to be States, North Carolina. It is going to be... They're very close. I'm going to throw out there, I know it's probably wrong, Raleigh.
That is incorrect. It's just 1 point for Caleb here. It is Durham, North Carolina, is where Duke is located. All right, no problem. You got 1 point, though, out of that. Maddie, you get the next question here. What about Rutgers? Where is Rutgers at?
I want to say New Jersey. I feel like that's wrong.
Well, do you have a city that you want to throw out there?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, you do get 1 point for New Jersey. The location is New Brunswick, New Jersey, very close to New York City. All right, Caleb, we're going to go to, well, it used to be the Pac-12, but we're going to talk about Stanford. Where's Stanford at?
You got me on that one, David.
You have a city or
state? Can I steal that one?
You can't steal this round. It's the third round when you get to steal. Caleb, do you have a state you want to throw out there?
Washington.
Yeah, that would be incorrect also. So no points for Caleb there. It is Palo Alto, California is where Stanford is located. So no points for Caleb on that round. Maddie, what about Gonzaga?
Gonzaga, our favorite non-SEC team to talk about on the show that I feel like we, for some reason, can't get away from up in Spokane, Washington.
You have an answer?
I said in Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, Washington is correct. That is 2 points for Maddie for Gonzaga. You were worried about this game, too. You're like, I don't know anything about geography. All right, Caleb. I feel like somehow
I know basketball teams, though.
Yeah, there you go. Caleb, somehow I feel like you looked into this one with a Razorback podcast, but where is BYU?
Utah, and it is in Provo.
That is correct. That is 2 points for Caleb. Provo, Utah is where BYU is at. All right. Now, this one I've been told is hard. It's not hard for me because I wanted to go to college here, but Maddie, where is Rice?
Oh, Rice is in Houston, Texas.
That would be Houston, Texas. That is correct. That is 2 points for Maddie. I've been told that one's hard. I don't know. Some people don't even know that Rice exists.
I mean, there are like 3 schools in a like 5-mile distance, and they're all in Houston. So
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, Caleb, what about Sam Houston State?
It's going to be Texas, and I don't have a city for you.
Okay, well, that one is Huntsville, but that is a point for Caleb for getting Texas correct. All right, Maddie. Now, this one,
uh-oh.
where is Jacksonville State?
Is it Jacksonville, Alabama?
Wow. Okay. So most people answer Jacksonville, Florida. I felt like these next 2 questions, you should get the state at least right or one part of it, but it is indeed Jacksonville, Alabama. That is correct. Jacksonville, Alabama is where Jacksonville State is. Caleb, where is Wake Forest?
State's going to be South Carolina, and I don't have a city for you.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Winston-Salem on Tobacco Road. Yeah. I felt like at least you got the Carolina portion in there, correct? Like you were in the right area. All right. These next
Give
couple
Caleb half a point for that one.
Do what?
I said give Caleb half a point for that one. You got a
I'll give consideration on a tougher question later. All right, Maddie. Where is Bellarmine?
Man, we've talked about them so many times, and I have absolutely no clue.
Louisville, Kentucky, very famous for beating the Louisville Cardinals. No points to Maddie on that one. Speaking of teams that Kentucky schools have played, last season, Kentucky played this team in the Wildcat Classic. Caleb, where is Stonehill College?
It sounds like a name for a team that would be from somewhere in New York.
Well, you would be correct for being in the Northeast region, but it is in Easton, Massachusetts. No points for either of you on that go around. All right, Maddie, I don't know how, Maddie, you did a good job, I guess, deferring because I'm looking at these questions as they're coming up in order here, but where is Creighton?
Oh, Creighton is in Omaha, Nebraska.
That is 2 points for Maddie. It is indeed in Omaha, Nebraska. Caleb, I feel bad for you right now because like I feel like this is going to be a little bit tougher, but where is Marshall? Matthew McConaughey was in a movie for this school.
That is the only reason I know about that school.
I was about to say that he was famous alumni, but you got me on this one, David. I want to say Tennessee.
You see, you keep thinking in the right place in the world, just not getting the states correct, but it is Huntington, West Virginia is where Marshall is at. So after one round, Maddie has the lead with 11 points while Caleb has 4. It's all right. We got more rounds to go here. For this next round here for round 2, let's find out who has control when you guys are ready to chime in here. This is the question. Who is the newest men's basketball coach to the SEC?
Mark Pope.
Mark Pope would be an acceptable answer. That is correct, Caleb. The other acceptable answer would have been Mark Byington at Vanderbilt. So Mark Pope and Mark Byington both accepted answers there. All right, so Caleb has control here of our second round, and we're going to play a game called Who's Closer? Now, the way this game works is that we are going to go division by division of NBA teams, and you guys are going to tell me who is the closest P5 school to that NBA team. We'll go arena to campus is how we'll do this. And the way that this will work is that Caleb, since you have control, you can either defer or keep, and you'll each pick a team out in your own mind, which one you think are more confident in the answer of. And as far as P5 conferences goes, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and of course the Big East, the current P5 school. So we'll start out in the Atlantic Division. Caleb, would you like to defer or would you like to get us started here?
I'll go ahead and defer.
All right, Maddie. So the teams in
Oh,
the Atlantic Division are the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Toronto Raptors. And by the way, I should mention some of these answers may repeat. So, Maddie, what team would you like to tell me first?
let's go with the Celtics because I have a pretty good feeling that it's gonna be Boston College.
Boston College would be correct. That is 1 point for Maddie on that one. Caleb, it's your turn. Would you like to tell me where Brooklyn, the Knicks, the 76ers, or Toronto?
Let's go with the Knicks. And I'm going to go with St. John.
St. John's would be correct. That is the correct answer. There are schools that are also very close there. So I'm glad that you came out with the correct one. It is St. John's for the Knicks. Maddie, you're in control of the board. Where would you like to go next? We got Brooklyn, the 76ers, or the Raptors?
Give me the 76ers, and I'm gonna go with Nova.
Nova would be correct. That is a point for Maddie. All right, Caleb, you are in control of the board here. Would you like the Nets or the Raptors?
Let me take the Nets.
All right, go with the Nets, Caleb.
I'm going to go with, hoping it's a repeating answer, we'll go with St. John's for the Nets.
That is correct. St. John's is still the closest school, even to the Barclays Center as well. It gets a little bit closer, though. Seton Hall is also really, really close there in New Jersey. All right, Maddie, that just leaves the Toronto Raptors. Who is the closest school to the Toronto Raptors?
I have absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Would you like to take a guess? It's narrowed down to P5 schools, so you don't have to worry about a small college.
That's a lot of schools, and we're talking Canada, completely foreign territory. I don't think it's gonna repeat again. I don't think we're seeing St. John's there. Ugh, no clue.
You have no clue. Wild shot in the dark. Go ahead.
Ah, P5 schools. That would be that far up north. Caleb, I'm blaming you. You did this to me.
How was this?
Hey, I knew what I was doing.
You were in control of the board, Maddie. You could have chose the Nets.
No, Caleb chose the Nets last. That
Okay.
was not on me.
All right. What do you got, Matt?
Oh. Let's go St. John's again. I know it's wrong, but
It is not St. John's. It is Syracuse is the correct answer. The Syracuse, believe it or not, as close as Toronto is to Michigan, the closest team is the Syracuse Orange in New York. All right, let's go to the Central Division. All right, Caleb, you lead us off here since you deferred. So we've got the Bulls, the Cavs, the Pistons, the Pacers, or the Bucks. Where would you like to get us started?
Let's go with the Pacers.
All right, the Pacers.
And I'm going to go with Indiana University.
Caleb, that would be incorrect. It's actually the Butler Bulldogs are the closer team to the Pacers. They're also in Indianapolis. Maddie, the board belongs to you. Where would you like to go next? Would it be the Bulls, the Cavs, the Pistons, or the Bucks?
give me the Pistons. My heart is still heavy that Tim Hardaway Jr. has left the Mavericks and went over there, but he's close enough to join his alma mater in Michigan.
Michigan would be the correct answer. Ann Arbor, very, very close to the Pistons. All right, so that leaves the Cavs, the Bulls, and the Bucks. Caleb, where are we going?
We're going to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. All right. What do you got for the Bucks?
I'm going to go with the University of Wisconsin.
Marquette University is in Milwaukee. These Big East schools will get you every time. The conference was founded on the principle of big cities, and Marquette continued that tradition. So that is an incorrect answer. Maddie, Board is yours. We've got the Cavs and the Bulls left.
So many schools near Chicago. Let's go Cavs.
All right.
I got two schools I'm trying to choose between right now. Train of thought. Let's go
I think
Pitt.
this is the toughest one. Where'd you go?
Pitt.
That is correct. Pitt is correct. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, believe it or not, is closer than Columbus, Ohio to Cleveland. That is correct. Caleb, and you told me you were bad at geography. Caleb, what about the Bulls?
Good old Chicago.
There's a couple of teams that should pop in your head.
They are. I just don't know which is the closest one I want.
What are we thinking here? And you can tell me final answer when you have it.
Let's go. Is it Illinois?
It is not Illinois. It is DePaul University, which is
DePaul.
in Chicago, where actually Leighton Blocker transferred to, is where that's at now. All right, so that is DePaul University. Caleb took no points there in the Central Division. Maybe we'll have better a little bit closer to home as we head to the Southeast. Maddie, you are in control of the board. Would you like the Hawks, the Heat, the Magic, the Hornets, or the Wizards?
Let's go Heat. Because we just talked about this school. Let's go University of Miami.
That would be correct. Miami is correct. Caleb, where would you like to go? Would you like to go Hawks, Magic, Hornets, or Wizards?
Let's go Wizards.
All right.
And I'm going to go University of Washington.
The University of Washington, as in Seattle, Washington Huskies? Do you need to think about that one for a second?
Geography is not my strong suit.
I can tell on that one. That is a very different Washington. I mean, it make more sense with them coming to the Big Ten. But the correct answer, Caleb, would have been Georgetown, which is also these Big East schools giving you a fit, man. Georgetown, which is also in Washington, D.C., actually plays in the same stadium. All right, Maddie, you've got the control here. Where are we going next? Do we got the Magic, the Hornets, and the Hawks left?
Let's go Hawks.
Okay. Who do you got?
Is it the Georgia Bulldogs?
It is not the Georgia Bulldogs. It's Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is where we were at going to next there. Caleb, you've got the Magic or the Hornets?
Let me go the Magic.
All right.
So we're in Orlando.
Any schools in Orlando you can think of?
I don't know why this one's popping in my head, but I'm going to go UCF.
UCF would be correct. UCF is indeed correct. They are in Orlando, Florida. I actually have seen people get that question sometimes and them answer either the Gators or the South Florida. It's UCF being there in the same city. Maddie, you get the last one here. Where are who's closest to the Charlotte Hornets?
Oh, man.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm split between two, mainly because I don't know my North Carolina geography.
What two are you thinking?
I'm thinking either UNC or Wake Forest.
And which one is your final answer? That's my question here.
That's my question too, David. I don't know. I got a couple points here. I need to flip one.
You're going to have to make a decision at some point.
You know how indecisive I am. This isn't going to work out well for anybody. Let's go Wake Forest just because UNC is my first instinct.
Oh my goodness. So going against your first instinct may have given you the right answer. It is indeed Wake Forest. That is correct. I was thinking that you were thinking like Duke and North Carolina, with those being the two most obvious ones, but it is Wake Forest. That is the closest.
The only reason Wake Forest had a fighting chance is because you said Winston-Salem earlier, and I was like, I think that's closer. I don't know.
They're all right there. They're all right there next to each other. Durham and Chapel Hill are also extremely close to each other. Let's jump over to the Western Conference. Caleb, you're leaving us off in the Northwest. We got the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Trailblazers, or the Jazz?
Let's go Oklahoma City.
Okay, see, it is. Now, there's not that
Let
many schools in Oklahoma, Caleb.
I mean, that's true, David.
Hey, there's two big ones there. I get his frustration. That was my first thought.
You go Oklahoma State.
It was Oklahoma. Oklahoma is closer. Norman is indeed closer. All right, so that knocks the Thunder off the board. Maddie, where are we going next? Nuggets, Timberwolves, Trailblazers, or Jazz?
Let's go Trailblazers. And I'm
Okay,
gonna go Oregon.
Oregon would be correct. That is the correct answer. They're their last remaining P5 school now that Oregon State is no longer a P5 school. So that is correct. All right, Caleb, we got a chance here to keep turning this tide. Where are we going next? Are we going the T-Wolves, the Nuggets, or are we going the Jazz?
Give me the Jazz.
Okay.
And is it going to be BYU?
It's going to be Utah.
Utah.
I understand your feeling right now. You're getting it down to like 50-50, and it's like I keep getting the wrong side of this coin. It's a frustrating feeling. I empathize with you a lot on that one. Maddie, where are we going next? Do we got the T-Wolves or the Nuggets?
Give me the Nuggets.
All right.
And let's follow Coach Prime and go over to Colorado.
Colorado would be correct. That is the closest school out there. I think it gets easier, honestly, if you don't have like two schools in a P5 in a state, the further west you go, because you get a much bigger territory and you don't have random cities sneaking up on you. Caleb, the last one up there in the northwest region, what about the Timberwolves?
Is that going to be the Golden Gophers of Minnesota?
That would be correct. It is the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. They're right next to each other in the metropolitan area. All right, Caleb, that is correct. And we are headed now to the Pacific. Maddie, you're leading us off in the Pacific between Golden State, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Suns, or the Kings. Who do you want?
With all of the schools in the greater California state, I'm going to take the Suns and make my odds hopefully a little bit better.
All right, we're going Suns here. Where are you thinking on this?
And I'm going to go ASU.
Arizona State would be correct. That is the closer one of the Arizona schools. All right, so next up, Caleb, who do you want? Golden State, the Clippers, the Lakers, or the Kings?
Give me the Lakers. And
Where it gets tricky.
I'm down between two. Give me UCLA.
It is not UCLA. It is USC is the closer school to the Clippers. All right, Maddie, where are we going next? Or sorry, you said Lakers, Caleb. It's the closer school to the Lakers. All right, Maddie, where are we going next? Golden State, the Clippers, or the Kings?
Well, thanks to Caleb, I feel like I know this answer now. So we're going to go Clippers and we're going to go USC.
It is indeed USC, and that one's actually much more competitive because they play in two different buildings now. It is much, much closer for between USC and UCLA. All right, Caleb, that leaves us with the last two California schools here. We got Golden State or the Sacramento Kings. Where are we going?
Let's go Golden State.
Okay.
And
it got tricky because the Pac-12 changed, disappeared. So who's left?
Exactly.
Well, it's California school, so.
Stanford?
Stanford is not it. It's Cal. Cal is the closer school in Berkeley to Golden State. All right, Maddie. Sacramento Kings. Who do you got?
I'm trying to think vicinity-wise with all those schools. I think it's still going to be Cal, isn't it?
It would still be Cal. Yes, it would still be Cal up there in the northern area. Palo Alto is just tucked away in a corner where it's close to nobody. It's really, really weird how that works out. But yes, it is the Cal Bears. Caleb, you got control of the board here. So as we go down the list here, as we jump to the Southwest, Caleb, we got the Mavs, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Spurs. Should be an area we're somewhat familiar with, coming from SEC backgrounds. Where would you like to start us off?
Let's go to the Grizzlies.
Let's go to the Grizzlies. All right, Caleb, who do you want out of the Grizzlies? And I remind you, it has to be a P5 school.
I don't remember. Is University of Memphis Power 5?
It is not. They are in the American Conference. That is not a Power 5 school. I won't accept that as your final answer, so you can think about it one more second here.
Just off the top of my head, let me go with Tennessee.
See, I think this is the toughest one in this region. It's actually Ole Miss is the closest school to the Memphis Grizzlies. No points there for Caleb. Maddy, your chance here. Rockets, Mavs, Pelicans, or Spurs?
Give me the Rockets and let's go University of Houston.
That would be correct. It is the University of Houston. Cougars are the correct answer. Caleb, who would you like next here? We got 3 more teams. Would you like the Pelicans, the Spurs, or the Mavs?
Let's go Pelicans, and I'm going to say LSU.
LSU would be correct. LSU is the correct answer there in Baton Rouge. A lot of people would probably guess Tulane, but they are not a power conference team. Maddy, it is your turn here. Do you want the Mavs or do you want the Spurs?
Give me the Mavs with SMU in their backyard.
SMU would be correct. I didn't expect anybody to get that one considering they just changed conferences to the ACC. Otherwise, it would have been TCU as the correct answer in Fort Worth. But yes, SMU now is the correct answer out of the P5 schools. Caleb, that leaves the Spurs to you. Who's the closest to the Spurs here in San Antonio? So we know it's in Texas.
That really narrows it down, David.
Yeah, it's a lot of options here, but at least it's just P5 schools you got to worry about.
I'm going to shoot a shot with Baylor.
It's not Baylor. Baylor's actually an additional 45 minutes away from this school, which is just north of it, which would be the Texas Longhorns. That would be the team we're looking for there as the closest would be the Texas Longhorns.
I almost felt that was too obvious.
I felt it was too obvious. The one that's not obvious in this group, I felt like there was one that's not obvious in each group. And I felt like the one that wasn't obvious here was the Grizzlies. That one would probably be the most painful one because I was like, who is the closest to the Grizzlies when you just factor in P5 schools, All right, so after 2 rounds of this game, we score is Maddy 24, Caleb with 9. Caleb, don't discourage too much because points in round 3 are, of course, worth 3 points. Keep this game, it's very competitive, and you have the opportunity to steal should Maddy miss a question. We'll go back and forth in this next round, but for control of the round, let's answer a trivia question with the first one to chime in. What SEC team has the longest streak without making the NCAA tournament?
The Georgia Bulldogs.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because we finally saw South Carolina make it.
That was 17, yes.
Yep. And then Vanderbilt hasn't always been awful. They had a decent team a few years ago, so that was the first guess, and we've seen all the other ones at least semi-recent. So
okay, yeah, without hesitation, yes, it is the Georgia Bulldogs. Last time they made the tournament was 2015. It'll be going on 10 years this season since the last time they made the NCAA tournament, which means, Maddy, you are in control of this round. Let me explain how it works before you decide if you want to defer or let Caleb lead us off here. How this round works, this game is called That's My Mascot. I'm going to be asking you I'm going to give you a team and a conference. That team, you'll have to figure out in that conference that I give you who shares their mascot. So, for instance, if I said the Georgia Bulldogs and I gave you the Mountain West, the answer would be Fresno State because they're also the Bulldogs. So that's how this works. Any questions? If you get the question wrong, the other person will have a chance to steal the question. All right, Maddie, you have control. Would you like to defer or would you like to start us off?
Let's just swing for the fences. Give it to me, David. Let's go.
All right. So the very first question, Texas A&M, Conference USA.
The only other school that's coming to mind that has the same mascot as Texas A&M is New Mexico State.
New Mexico State would be correct. The other Aggie was Utah State in the Mountain West Conference. Caleb, speaking of the Mountain West, Michigan State, Mountain West.
San Jose State.
That is correct. The San Jose State Spartans are the correct team. Maddie, West Virginia, Sun Belt.
West
I forgot to
Virginia.
mention,
They're the Mountaineers, right?
Do what?
They're the Mountaineers, right?
They might be. I'm not giving you that information.
Rude. I don't even know what. Oh, only reason I know this is because of Mr. Luke Combs, Appalachian State.
That is App State is correct. That is 3 points for Maddie. Next question, Caleb. UConn, the MAC, Mid-American Conference. And as I was saying, I will offer hints if anybody would like one hint.
I will take a hint, David.
Okay. This team has a cardinal direction somewhere in its school name.
I don't know.
You don't know. Maddie, would you like a chance to steal this one?
Absolutely not, because I have no clue.
It is the Northern Illinois Huskies. The Northern Illinois Huskies, NIU. All right, Maddie, it is your question. Houston, WCC, West Coast Conference.
Can't think of any other Cougars.
I think this is the most difficult question on this list.
Can I also have a hint, please?
You may. This team changed conferences, and that's why they're now in the WCC.
I don't know. I'm gonna let Caleb take a swing at this one.
Caleb, do you have the correct answer?
Just changed conferences. Washington State.
Washington State is correct. The Cougars are the correct answer of Washington State. Yes, they will be joining the WCC in basketball this season, along with the Oregon State Beavers. All right, let's go. Caleb, it is your question here. Gonzaga, the Missouri Valley.
I'll take a hint on this one.
This team was in the NCAA tournament this year in a 7-10 game.
I'm drawing a blank, David.
It would be the team that I do believe played Washington State.
Got this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maddie.
Not even gonna let me steal, David.
I'm sorry. I forgot you needed the opportunity to steal my bag. Go ahead.
Give me Butler.
It is not Butler. They didn't make the NCAA tournament. And they're also in the Big East, Maddie. It is the Drake Bulldogs. The Drake Bulldogs is who it was. And I do believe they played Washington State, which is why I stacked those questions back and forth. Maddie, your chance here. Eastern Illinois, ACC.
I'm not even gonna put. I'm sorry. I was trying to flip my coin and decide. I'm not even gonna pretend I know this one.
So you're gonna ask for the hint, or are you gonna let Caleb ask for the hint?
I'm just gonna let Caleb go for it.
All right, Caleb.
I'll take that hint.
Okay, the hint is that this team had a first-round draft pick in this year's NBA draft.
Tell us the answer, David.
All right, so clearly I'm not dealing with a room full of Dallas Cowboy fans who know that Tony Romo played for Eastern Illinois, and he was a Panther, meaning this correct answer was the Pitt Panthers, is who that we're looking for here. All right, Caleb, it's all right. You still got a chance here with the next question. How about Mercer, Big 12?
That is going to be Baylor.
Baylor is correct. It is the Baylor Bears. All right, Maddie. Your question. See if I can't get some confidence back in you guys after I flip the script from P5 schools to mid-majors.
Everywhere.
Yeah. All right. How about Clemson, Ivy League?
Oh, give me Princeton.
That would be Princeton is correct. All right, Caleb, the next question here is Kentucky Big Sky Conference.
Go ahead and give me that hint.
I hate to do this to you, but this team also had one pick in the first round of this year's NBA draft. That's the one that I had prepared for this.
Have at it, Maddie.
Maddie, would you like to take a steal on this one?
First round of the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
Going Wildcats. And you said what conference?
Big Sky.
Drawing a blank. I do not know.
It is Weber State out in Utah. Weber State is the correct
Who was
answer.
their draft pick?
I'm gonna look it up real fast. It was late.
Okay. When I was trying not to fall asleep during our live show.
When you were dying. Yeah. It was Dylan Jones. Picked 20 for the Wizards. Traded to the Thunder.
Okay.
Maddie, your question is Winthrop Patriot League. Winthrop Patriot League.
Give me that hint, David.
Well, this team's mascot would be very appropriate for the name of this university.
Caleb, take a crack at it.
Caleb, what do you got for Winthrop and the Patriot League? I should say this mascot would be appropriate for also the conference.
UMass?
It's not UMass. It's American University. Winthrop, of course, being the Eagles. All right, so let's move on to our very last question. Caleb, Ohio to the NEC. That is the Northeast Conference. Get your mind geography correct here.
I'll take that hint as well.
Florida played this team in December.
Florida played this team in December. I'm going to have to pass.
Oh, this is the last question of the game, too. Maddie, do you have a guess?
Nope.
It would be Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac would be the correct answer there. All right, well, that does it for our game. I had sudden death questions prepared, but with a final score, both of you taking 9 points in that round. Today's winner is my co-host, Maddie, and she gets the chance to defend her title in the next game show. Caleb, thank you so much for playing with us today. Caleb, would you like to tell everybody where your podcast is located at?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast at Hogs on the Hill. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook with that name as well. We come out with shows every Thursday. We do periodic live events at Cool Brewing if you're located in Northwest Arkansas, and go check us out.
Maddie, I'd ask you where your podcast is, but you're already on it. I'm very happy you kept away from those answers, though. I'm going to double check to make sure you don't have the project open right now to defend Caleb's honor with 33 points in this game. I told you about this. My brother took 8 throughout this competition. So, guys, don't feel bad at all. I knew that this one was a toughie. But, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Please like and subscribe to the Hoop Southbound show. Go check out Caleb's show, especially if you're a Razorback fan. And we'll catch you guys next time on the Hoop Southbound show.